In this video, we're going to be looking at the associative property, which only applies to addition and multiplication. It does not ever work for subtraction or division. And so we're going to start by looking at the associative property of addition. So in general terms, the associative property of addition can be written as A plus parentheses B plus C equals A plus B in parentheses plus C. So essentially what it says is you can rearrange the grouping of the numbers in any addition or multiplication, well in this case addition equation, and still get the same answer. So for an example, I'll give you something like 2 plus 3 plus 4, and we'll look at this. So the associative property of addition says that we can take these numbers and rearrange the grouping however we want. So we could change it to 2 plus 3 in parentheses plus 4, and we'd still get the exact same answer. So to prove that, let's take a look at this. So 3 plus 4 we know equals 7. Bring down our 2. And then we'll do that for the other side. 2 plus 3 equals 5, plus the 4 that we bring down. And 5 plus 4 equals 9, and 7 plus 2 also equals 9. So a little bit more complicated example would be something like 2 plus 3 in parentheses plus something like 4 plus 7. And this kind of just shows that you can have more than 3 terms. See, up here we had 1, 2, 3 terms, but down here we have 4. There's really no limit to the amount of numbers that you can have as long as it's all addition. So for this, we could change it completely around into something like, we could combine the 2 and the 4 and then the 3 and the 7. So we could have something like 2 plus 4 in parentheses plus, sorry about that, 3 plus 7 in the other parentheses. So take a look at this just to prove that it works. 2 plus 3 equals 5 plus 4 plus 7 equals 11 equals 2 plus 4 equals 6, 3 plus 7 equals 10, and 5 plus 11 equals 16, and 10 plus 6 also equals 16. So that just kind of proves that the associative property of addition works and how it works. So now let's take a look at the associative property of multiplication. And it's really the exact same thing, only with multiplication. So in general terms, it can be written as A times B times C equals A times B in parentheses times C. So just like before, you can rearrange the grouping of your numbers however you want and get the same answer in the end. So let's take these numbers and use something like 3 times 4 times 5. Okay, so we can change this grouping completely and just bring the 4 out and say 4 times 3 times 5. Okay, so just to prove that it works, 4 times 5 equals 20 times 3, and 3 times 5 equals 15 times 4. 3 times 20 equals 60, and 4 times 15 also equals 60. So there's one example of the associative property of multiplication. And again, let's give you an example to prove that it doesn't just apply to 3 terms like we have up here. We can add as many terms as we want and it'll still work. So let's go with 2 times 4 in parentheses times 1 times 3. Okay, so let's switch these parentheses around completely and do something like 2 times 1 times 4 times 3. And we're going to get the same answer. So 2 times 4 equals 8 times 1 times 3 equals 3. And then on the right side, 2 times 1 equals 2. And 4 times 3 equals 12. So it will be 2 times 12. Okay, 8 times 3 equals 24. And 2 times 12 is twice as much as 12, which is 24 also. So that's just kind of a brief glimpse at the associative property. And yeah, it applies to addition and multiplication and nothing else. So you can pretty much change the grouping of any numbers in your equations and get the same answer. regardless of how many terms that you have.